right, listen, if you are in crypto right now and you're expecting alt season, this may be the most important video you watch in 2025. Why? Because if we get an alt season, if we get a full-blown alt season, it's pretty much now or never. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're gonna have an alt season now or never, and by now, I mean tomorrow, this week, this month, or we're not gonna get one at all. Not only that, if we do get an alt season, it's gonna be a select alt season, meaning the majority of altcoins, they're not gonna run just like past cycles. You're probably holding the wrong coins. So in this video, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you when I believe alt season will start, what the catalysts are gonna be, which alts are gonna run along with which narratives, so you don't get caught with your pants down, broke, continue to being broke and missing this entire run because you're holding the wrong ones. That's what we're gonna be talking about. I'll be showing you my portfolio and we're starting right now.
Hey guys, I'm Britta. Remember, Paul is not a financial advisor, but he is good looking. Also, this is not financial advice. Please subscribe down below and check out my channel at Britta.
Hey, welcome back. My name is Paul. If it's your first time here, this channel is all about crypto, all about cryptopreneurship. And today we're going to be talking about altcoins, specifically alt season, what will drive the alt season, which altcoins are going to run, which narratives are going to run, and which coins I'm holding. Because listen, it's now or never. We are getting to the final stage of this cycle, of this bull run. And yes, I get it. People are talking about an extended cycle, but that hasn't been proven yet. So we're going by the 4-year cycle. We're going to take profits and then we're going to leave some capital in case it continues. And if it does, we can get back in with or without leverage, but we're going to have our profits over here. We are here. We have been in the markets, endured these ups and downs so we can make profits, not so we can be brokies and end up where we started, okay? We want to be taking profits. And if it keeps on going up, great. It benefits us either way. We're gonna benefit from this. But before I start and show you my portfolio, because I'm gonna show you my portfolio, which coins I'm holding and which coins I believe in most, I wanna talk to you a little bit because I want you to have context. This is very important. See, all alt seasons start with some sort of catalyst, and the catalyst is usually a narrative. And we have narratives, new narratives coming into play. So if you are in gaming, if you are in AI, if you are in meme coins, yes, I get it, those may run. We call these narratives before they even came to fruition. We called AI in the last cycle for this cycle perfectly, but you have to understand it's a new narrative right now. It's a new catalyst. And the coins I'm gonna give you are probably gonna climb, or probably gonna run most of all altcoins, or at least give birth to this alt season, this full-blown alt season. Look, we talked about this. We talked about an extended alt season before the summer, full-blown after the summer, and we called every mini alt season in 2023, 2024 up to now. Let's hope we get this one right, because we might be wrong. This might all go to shit tomorrow, and only Bitcoin went up, which is why I was telling you to have the bulk of your portfolio in Bitcoin. But regardless, we're here to win big now, okay? So let me show you what I'm holding, why, and which narratives you should be in. So Aster Coin has pretty much given birth to the perpetual DEX narrative. And yes, I know Hyper was first. I know Hyper is sort of the blue chip. It has better tech, better proof of concept, but you have to understand that this war between Hype and Aster is what set this off. And because of that, a rising tide lifts all ships. So we have to look at this as a narrative. And I believe this is going to be one of the key narratives for this alt season, this full-blown alt season. So let's take a look at what this includes. So you have Hyperliquid as the blue chip. You have Hyperliquid as the blue chip play sitting at $49, and you want to hold this because of proof of concept, but also if other perpetual dexes fail, liquidity should come in and flow into Hyperliquid. So you're holding Hyperliquid, you're holding Aster Coin, the number one competitor and run up to this sector, to this narrative, which also, by the way, has stocks. It actually has perpetual futures on stock, so you can trade in a decentralized way. The fees are extremely low. It's actually backed by Binance, and CZ's talking about it every single day. We know he's involved. This is a very, very strong competitor. You should be in. I am in my opinion, and I will leave a link in the description down below so you can join AsterDex, so you can also join my team, so we can actually have a chance to get the airdrop. So make sure you check the link in the description down below. I'll also leave it pinned in the chat. Do what you want with this information, but I do believe if you get in, we can get a massive airdrop together. So check out that link. Now, in this narrative with Hype and with Aster is Bluefin. Now, Bluefin is on Sui. So you have Hype Coin with their own chain, Hyperliquid over here. You have Aster Coin, which is on Binance or BNB. And then you have Bluefin as a Sui play, So if Sui does well, Bluefin should also benefit, and the narrative should amplify this. We needed to break what? 17, let's call it 20 cents psychological. If we can make that support and break the range of 20 to 25 cents over here, it should do very well and re-challenge all-time highs. So you have Hyper, you have Aster, you have Bluefin, and you also have Avantis holding price very well over here, which is on base. So these are the 4 perpetual dexes that I'm holding as a narrative play for this run. Hype being my biggest position, Aster a close second. Then for my mid cap and my low caps, I have both Avantis and Bluefin. Okay, so check those out. I believe you should have a position in there. That's just my 2 satoshis. You do what you want. Next up, we have Linea on Linea Chain, and hear me out here because a lot of people are missing the big picture. Listen, we talked about Linea Chain when it was first launched on MetaMask, and we actually got into Foxy as their mascot, also playing the meme narrative back then, and also Linux as their exchange. Now, you have to understand that that wasn't the best timing. I said it was a long-term play. And I said that if it's going to do well, it's going to do well probably towards the end of this bull market or the beginning of the next one. And there was a reason for that. I believed that somehow they're going to bring people or bring movement or whatever you want to call it, market share on the Linea chain. And now we're having news of a MetaMask airdrop with Mask Coin. But Mask Coin also has to do with Linea. See, you have to understand that MetaMask, Linea, all part of Consensus. They're the same sort of company. Now, if the airdrop happens on MetaMask, which I believe it will probably entail some sort of a Linea chain because they want to bring adoption, they want to bring market share on there and fight it out with Base. So this is where it makes sense. So yes, I know we got dumped on, it didn't do very well when I called Foxy and Linux back then, but this actually may benefit you for the airdrop. But Linea Coin is the official token on Linea, and I do believe if you get an airdrop on MetaMask, it will be amplified by this. This is a theory, of course. I don't know this for sure. We know Linea is working with Swift. Funnily enough, XRP Army, you're welcome, told you. But they're working with Linea Coin on Ethereum and so on. So make sure you get a little bit of dip, if you will, in Linea Coin. And yes, I consider this a high-risk play. We need to break 0.035 cents, and then it will go into blue sky breakout and price discovery. So check out Linea Coin. The good thing is it can go up quite a lot. Now that said, next up we have EtherFi. Now EtherFi is just a price action play. Look, we need to break $3 over here, and it's currently above. It's breaking out of this lower range over here, and I do believe it can break $3 in a full-blown bull cycle. Oh, sorry, full-blown alt season. If it actually breaks this level, it can retest all-time highs at $8. Currently sitting at 1.8, I think this is worth it to be in your portfolio. Now, this is down 71%, but you have to have some risk plays in your portfolio. This is the one I'm holding. This is one of the ones I'm holding in my portfolio for this potential alt season. So EtherFi is another one I'm holding. I'm holding it in my portfolio. I like the price action, and I do believe it can actually break out. Of course, I might be wrong. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and what I'm in for this potential alt season. For the very same reason, I'm holding Athena. Now, Athena is struggling over here to break 0.81 cents. But once that's broken and becomes support, then their next level is $1.2. Okay, all-time high is 1.4, but I believe it can break $1.2. And if it breaks that, I think it can do, or I believe it can do extremely well. Now, I'm not going to get into the details on what EtherFi and what Athena does. I've talked about these in other videos. I want to make this video as fast as possible and show you my portfolio. So let's move on to Zcash. Now, we saw some traction on Zcash. We saw a break right here at 86 cents, now sitting at $86, now sitting at $146. And I believe it's worth getting in, because if we break 267, which I believe we can at least challenge this, let me correct myself, 231, which I believe we can challenge this, I do see us coming to at least $779 by the end of this bull market, by the end of this alt season. If everything plays out, I do believe this top, or this top over here, this short-term top, will be challenged. Will we go all the way to 2K? I don't know. I'm not sure. But this one here, 779, could be achieved. And while more people are getting into privacy and care about privacy, this actually may become a narrative. Privacy tokens may make a comeback. I wouldn't go full in on this, I really wouldn't, but it is worth keeping a small portion of your portfolio in privacy tokens. You don't have to, of course. It's not mandatory. These are just a couple of coins I'm holding here. One is Zcash, and the other one is Monero, which I called when Zcash broke out, and you can see it coming up to challenge these all-time highs over here. 417 needs to be broken. The range is 417 to 471. If that breaks, blue sky breakout, price discovery, so it's worth holding these two coins together. One is Zcash, which has a lot of price history and it's down. The other one is Monero, looking powerful because of the narrative. If this narrative breaks out, these two coins should do very well. Of course, Monero has difficulties getting listed on exchanges. It has some negatives, but again, with everything going on with censorship and so on, this narrative may come back, and it usually does come back towards the end of cycles regardless, so make sure you check those out. Then I'm holding Pudgy Penguins for a meme/utility play. The price action here is phenomenal. We called it at the lows. We called it to get in and wait for a pullback from the beginning. We got in at the lows. We got in at the breakout, and I said this is going to be a nice cup and handle. Looks like it didn't break out, but we do have a chance for it to break out now. And I do believe if this top breaks over here at 43, 0.043, this can do quite well, and I do think it's going to break out towards the end of this bull market as well. Only 560% up on coin market cap, and this project really has a lot of marketing, a lot of potential, a lot of utility. I actually believe this is not really a utility token, it's more of a meme token, but they have a product, that's why I'm calling it utility. It's on Solana, so you're also betting on the Solana chain, and I do believe it should be in your portfolio. I've been talking about it for a while, so check it out. Dogecoin, I've been in it and telling you to accumulate forever before this Elon Musk spike over here. And when we came down over here, I told you to also accumulate. And look, the price action here looks really good, and it looks like we're back on the way up over here. Let's see if we can break 47 cents and continue to re-challenge all-time highs. But if you're holding any memes, Dogecoin for me is the king of memes. Not trying to be something it's not, it's just Doge. It's just there. We are Doge, we're holding Doge, community, and so on. So check it out and see if it's worth it for you. Next up, Cookie DAO. Now this is an AI agent play / BNB chain play. So if we're going by narratives, if Aster Dex does well, which I believe it will, and brings life and market share back into BNB, which it is, then the BNB ecosystem should do well. AI is a narrative that may or may not come back. It should come back in some sort of way, but regardless, doesn't matter because you also have the BNB narrative over here. So an AI BNB play over here, I believe can do very well, and the price action does look promising as long as we hold above 0.083 cents. If we actually break under this, and the market is doing better while this breaks under this, then I would get out. But for now, I'm in. Let's see how it plays out. Then we have Virtual for Virtual Protocol. Again, this is an AI agent play. I'm betting on the comeback of AI agents. These are the two AI agents that I'm holding for this narrative. We got out of the other ones. We got in other coins. Yes, we are still probably have some here and there from AI agents on SWI and so on, but we're not banking on them, just a plus. These are the two I'm betting on, if that makes sense. Then we have SWI. Now I'm going to be talking about SWI in some high caps and then get back to low caps. But SWI, I still believe it's going to do a Solana type play. And if not in this bull run, the next bull run, it will take market share. But I do believe it still has to go. It has a lot to go up in this bull market. That's why Bluefin is one of my plays, because it's not just a perpetual DEX play, it's a perpetual DEX SWI play. I mentioned that before. So I'm also holding SWI kind of like a layer one narrative. If it takes market share in this cycle or the next one, I'm not sure, but I still believe in it a lot, and I still have a massive position of SWI. Just keep that in mind. Plus, it's fast, it works, the team's amazing. Plus, Mr. Labs Greek, and the hub is here in Athens, so maybe I'm a little biased. I didn't even know that when I go into SWI, but I thought it'll be funny if I mentioned that. So SWI here at $3.6. All it has to do is break $4.9. Let's call it $5 psychological, and it should be off to the races. And it does have a lot to give because look, only 109% up since listing on market cap, on coin market cap. So a $9, $10, even $20 SWI for me is actually a possibility. Now, if you're playing the SWI ecosystem, there is Walrus, there is Deep. I'm more bullish on Deep, but I'm also holding Walrus over here. I might actually flip this into Deep depending on price action. I want to see it break 48 cents over here. It's struggling a little bit, but if I see it breaking down under 36 cents, I will probably convert it into Deep. But Deep and Walrus, both SWI plays over here. And then of course, I'm also holding Ethereum. We called the bottom of Ethereum. I was the first channel, the only channel to call the bottom before it got there. To my understanding, from what I researched, I put out videos, and I do believe Ethereum is going to do extremely well. Will it go to 1 million? No. But I do believe an 8 to 10K Ethereum is in the cards, and I do believe it's worth holding this blue chip. And you have to understand, holding these coins are extremely important. A lot of people will be asking me now, well, why not get the 10, 15, and 20Xs and go for the 4Xs? Because if these fail, market share will come to the main chain. And the main chain is your main coin. So SWI, Ethereum, Solana, and so on. Does that make sense? Kind of like the same thing applies to perpetual DEX narrative. You're holding Hype, you're holding Avantis, you're holding Aster Coin, you're holding Bluefin, but if any of these fails, hype will probably take market share and benefit from this. So you want to be holding the key token, if that makes, or the key narrative token in this case. Hope you understand that. Hope that makes sense. So we are holding Ethereum, and of course we're holding Solana, which can break all-time highs at $2.57. As you can see, it's trying to challenge these all-time highs as we speak. And if this breaks, blue sky breakout price discovery, and we should get up to the $700 to $900 mark like I predicted with Solana. By the way, we called Solana at $2 in the last bull market, and we called it at $8.5 in this bull market. So either way, you're up. If you took profits, you're not wrong. I just believe we're going to go a little bit higher. For that reason, we do want to bet on Solana, on the Solana chain or ecosystem. We already gave you a few coins, but another one would be Pump.Fun. And look, Pump needs to break 0.0073. If it can break that level, if it can break this level, or even better, if it breaks 0.0075, it should re-challenge all-time highs. And once it re-challenges and breaks all-time highs, this thing can do crazy amounts of profits. You're seeing a cup and handle here, which arguably failed, but still in the range in my opinion. And you're seeing an inverse heads and shoulders here. We need to break this lip over here, and that would be a breakout of both in my opinion, even though theoretically or technically you should break the highs over here. But that should give enough momentum to break these highs, and that's why I'm making this call a little earlier. So Pump.Fun is in my portfolio as a narrative play on Solana for creators, and Pump. I do believe they're trying. They have their marketing. They're not giving up. Yes, there's a lot of scams, this, that, but listen, it's there. It has the name, it has the narrative, people know it, people will start buying it as soon as it breaks out. It's just inevitable. So it's a really good coin to hold. Then you have Stellar Coin, and no, I'm not holding XRP. I am holding Stellar instead of XRP. I think it's gonna out-profit XRP. Remember, we called both and we got in and out of both of them almost perfectly since 2017, since inception. So right now I'm calling for Stellar to out-profit XRP. Will I be wrong? Maybe, but it's still going to benefit if XRP goes up. That's my play. I believe there's more profits in Stellar or XLM. Pretty much the same tech, only Stellar is going for people, not so much the banks. XRP pretty much failed with the banks. That is my thesis on it, which I called early. Now they're trying to find a new use case, whether it's RWA, whether it's this, whether it's that. I mean, I've been telling you, I've been telling you guys, look, I can only explain things to you. I can't understand them for you. I don't want to rant about XRP. I called it perfectly. We called it. I told you not to get in until it breaks 72 cents. You missed an entire bull market in most of this one if you didn't listen to me. Once it broke 72 cents, we got that 5x. We got out. You're all still holding. I don't understand you. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to change your mind at this point. But I am holding XLM for that narrative, and I do believe XLM can outperform XRP. Hey, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Do what you will with this information. Talking about RWA, my main RWA play is Ondo, currently holding support over here. It has a range, so this can still go down and still maintain this support. And I do believe this can do extremely well as an RWA play narrative. Then we have Beam, and when I say Beam, understand I am holding Beam as a token. I am holding Beam nodes. We even have our own nodes with my partner Frederick, where you can delegate to. And we have two of them because one of them got filled with 1,000 nodes. We now have the second node. I'll also leave that in the description down below if you want to get in on this. This is a long-term play for me. You get Beam, but you get Aether token. We're doing very well with these rewards. It doesn't show because it hasn't gone up yet, but as an AI plus gaming play, I do believe in Beam long term, and if it doesn't do well in this bull market, I will accumulate in the bear market for the next bull market or the next cycle, if that makes sense. So Beam is another one we're holding. And then I'm also holding a very small position in Superverse, even bigger in Pixels, but a very small one in Superverse. Just because I'm seeing the price action here and I have a bag left over, it really has to break $2 for it to do anything. I mean, if you're gonna get in, wait for this to break at least $1 here. And then $2, if it does break $2, you can probably see it re-challenge all-time highs. I'm not super bullish on Superverse. I really am not. But I do believe they're trying to do something with it. And if gaming ever comes back, Superverse should do well. But this just goes to show you that things go around in narrative. See, Becker was talking about Superverse, Ilya Trades, well, it's his project, but you see, it wasn't enough to pump it. You have to go by narratives. That's why you have to look at the base narrative, the linear narrative, of course, with mask token and everything, and the perpetual DEX narrative. Everything else is secondary. Maybe it pumps, maybe it doesn't. For me, I don't care. I don't care because I have small positions in all these ones. And I am holding Pixels still as well. Quickly, let me show you what I'm holding in general. Take some screenshots. I'm going to show you what I'm holding on crypto bubbles generally, but understand a lot of it's very small positions, some high. But I wanted to make this video about the ones I believe in most, or what I would get now for this potential alt season. So let me show you real quick. So this is crypto bubbles right here, and you can see what I'm holding right now for this potential alt season. Yes, I may have mentioned a couple more, but everything is pretty much from this list. Now, if we go to my favorites, you may see a couple more that are not listed in my alt season, as well as if I go to my meme coins. As you can see, I'm also holding Snek and Breck over here, or Brett over here. And of course, my other positions over here, I actually got out of Kita. Let me just get that off here because I got into another coin. The other coin being Linear Coin, which I mentioned in my main positions, in my altcoin positions. And again, this is the overview of my alt season. Of course, this is only what's listed on Crypto Bubbles. I'm holding a lot of BRC20 tokens, SRC20 tokens, and a shitload of Bitcoin. So this is what I want you to focus on. Let's see if this alt season comes, but keep in mind that we're getting to the end of the cycle. So for me, once you see us going up like crazy, start taking profits on the way up slowly, so you're not left with your pants down, wrecked, broke, and just crying that you missed the whole bull market. Anyway, make sure you watch this video here next. Extremely important video. You don't want to miss this video. Please like this video, or actually watch this video and like this. I don't know, do whatever you want. I love you all. See you in the next one.